Now here's a news story that's going under the radar of the mainstream media. You know, cereal, that thing that basically everybody in America starts their day with. Just a regular bowl of cereal. Well, the manufacturers of cereals are about to lose their minds because the U.S. Food and Drug Administration wants to change the definition of what is healthy following a new rule that's going to go in effect on September 28. So there's going to be a new definition of what constitutes healthy, and guess what? Most cereals won't actually qualify. For a healthy stamp from the FDA, cereals have to contain 3/4 ounces of whole grains and no more than 1 gram of saturated fat, 230 milligrams of sodium, and 2.5 grams of added sugars. This means a good number of the cereals that are on the market in the United States and most of the Western world will no longer qualify as healthy. So, who are going to be the main victims in this case? Well, it looks like majorly it's going to be Raisin Bran, Honey Nut Cheerios, Corn Flakes, Honey Bunches of Oats, Honey Roasted, Frosted Mini Wheats, Life Cereal, and Special K. So basically all of these sugary cereals will no longer qualify as healthy, meaning the manufacturers can no longer put healthy on the label. So, what would you do in a situation like this? Would you reduce the amount of sugar in the cereal? Or would you sue the FDA? That's right, the producers of these high sugar cereals, which are largely marketed to children and are a major part of childhood obesity, which says, it's been a major driving factor in the weight and obesity epidemic in children in America. So, they're going to sue to continue to say that they're healthy. If finalized in its present form, it would be open to legal challenge in that it violates the First Amendment by prohibiting truthful, non-misleading claims in an unjustified manner, and also exceeds the FDA's statutory authority in several ways. That's right, it would hinder their freedom of speech, and as we know from Americana, there's pretty much nothing more important than freedom of speech, except perhaps the Second Amendment. Now, the group that's been working on their half, which is called the Washington Legal Foundation, and now they've come to the aid of many groups in this kind of situation who feel like they're being oppressed. Now, they actually wrote, they cannot explain why the FDA cannot explain why consumers cannot make their own healthy decisions based on the nutrition labeling data. Rather, it seeks to limit the food company's speech instead. You kind of see a problem with this. Now, one of their biggest clients is the Corn Refiners Association. Now, you'll recall them. They are the producers of high fructose corn syrup, one of the worst things a human being can put in their body. And it's a lobby group that represents them and has disclosed substantial financial ties to the same Washington Legal Foundation. You know who also works for the is a part of the Washington Legal Foundation, who uses them for these kind of matters? Purdue Pharma, the makers of many of the opiates that are killing people. Now, they've used it to challenge government rules and try to establish a kind of legal precedent to limit the ability of prosecutors seeking criminal charges for drug company executives. So, the Washington Legal Foundation tends to be in bed with everything that could kill you that you could put in your mouth. Now, these companies have a freedom of speech rights.
Corporations are people, my friend.
According to their own paid studies, sugar cereal delivers on nutrition when eaten alone, but when consumed as part of breakfast, it elevates the nutrition further, with the cereal eaters exhibiting an overall higher diet quality. Now, you'll recall this as the part of a complete breakfast that we have heard for decades, and now we get a bit of an understanding as to why we hear that expression so much. Now, cereals like Trix, Lucky Charms contain 12 grams of sugar per serving, nearly 5 times the limit proposed by the FDA's healthy labeling guidelines. Because it says this is how much sugar is healthy in a day, and the cereal is way over that, so you can't really call it healthy. But they theoretically have the freedom of speech in order to do that. Processed foods and sugar are linked to obesity, diabetes, high risks of stroke, obesity related cancers, hypertension, and dental diseases. Now, in the end, this is all about informing the consumer. And I know some people would disagree, but corporations don't have a freedom of speech because I don't think that they should be persons. No one is stopping you from actually eating this terrible cereal that's basically refined white sugar poison going into your system. You can still get it. No one's stopping you. They're just letting you know what it is that you're putting into your body. And of course, the cereal producers don't actually want you to know because it's bad for you. And they would rather label their stuff as healthy so that they can trick you into eating more of it. So don't worry. No one's actually going to take the cereal away from you. So there is no need to go full Ron Swanson on us.
The whole point of this country is if you want to eat garbage, balloon up to 600 pounds, and die of a heart attack at 43, you can. You are free to do so. To me, that's beautiful.
Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.